mindfulness.nn. Hello, and thank you for taking the time to sit with me in this quiet space. .nn. Have you ever startled yourself to realize you're scrolling on your phone in the middle of the night, your finger mindlessly hitting the checkout button on a shopping app, only to wake up the next morning with a vague sense of emptiness? In a world where every piece of technology is designed to hijack your attention, keeping your wallet at peace is just as difficult as keeping your mind quiet. The temporary high of buying a new item quickly fades, giving way to anxiety over the numbers in your bank account. We live in an era where consumption is no longer just about sustaining life. It has become a tool for temporary emotional soothing. But that comfort always comes at a steep price, not just in money, but at the cost of your very own inner peace. .nn. To begin this journey of reclaiming your autonomy, we need to look squarely at the first habit. .nn1. Overcoming the hunger of the endless scroll. When you pick up your phone, you aren't just browsing products. You are participating in a psychological game meticulously designed by digital algorithms. These systems exploit the human brain's dopamine loop. Every time an appealing item pops up, a personalized shopping suggestion appearing right when you are feeling tired or lonely, your brain releases a small surge of this neurotransmitter, creating a fleeting sense of excitement. It pushes you to make small, rapid transactions with nothing more than a tap or a face scan. However, the joy from these impulsive purchases is incredibly short-lived. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It means that no matter how many new things you acquire, your baseline level of happiness will quickly return to where it was, or drop even lower due to the guilt of overspending. In Buddhist teachings, this psychological state is vividly captured by the imagery of the hungry ghost realm. Beings in this realm are depicted with bellies as vast as mountains, but throats as narrow as a needle. They are constantly craving, constantly seeking food, yet can never swallow or feel satiated. Modern humans, caught in the loop of mindless shopping, are experiencing the exact state of a digital hungry ghost. We scroll for new items, hoping to fill a void inside, but the more we indulge this bottomless craving, the deeper the deprivation becomes. The thrill of possession quickly evaporates, leaving behind an exhausted mind and an empty wallet. Breaking this loop is your first step toward reclaiming your freedom. .nn2. Finding the middle way for your wallet. The second step on this journey is finding the middle way for your finances. Upon realizing the harm of mindless spending, many people swing to the opposite extreme, severe frugality. They force themselves to cut costs to the absolute bare minimum, depriving themselves of basic needs, and live in constant fear whenever they have to spend a dime. This lifestyle doesn't bring peace. Instead, it creates a crushing mental pressure that makes you feel perpetually impoverished and insecure. The Buddha taught that the path to liberation lies neither in sensory indulgence nor in extreme asceticism. The middle way is the path of mindful awareness that rests perfectly between those two extremes. N. Applied to your finances, the middle way doesn't demand that you live a life of hardship and reject all comforts. Rather, it helps you consume with clarity. Instead of counting every penny in fear of scarcity, shift your focus to evaluating the exchange of energy. Money is essentially a form of energy accumulated from your effort, time, and intellect. When you pay for an item or a service, you are trading your labor energy for someone else's. Ask yourself, is this item worth the hours of hard work I endured to earn that money? Does this exchange bring sustainable value and lightness to my life, or does it merely bring clutter and more bills? When you view money through the lens of energy, you'll no longer feel deprived when saving, nor impulsive when spending. You realize that saying no to an unnecessary purchase is an act of conserving your energy and respecting your own hard work. 3. The mindful pause. The third habit is establishing a mindful pause to decode the deep-seated anxieties within you. Most poor financial decisions happen when we are on autopilot or driven by negative emotions. It might be after a grueling day at work when you feel you deserve an expensive treat, or it might be when you feel lonely and disconnected, and scrolling through e-commerce sites gives you a false sense of connection to the outside world. Others shop out of a fear of falling behind in a society that endlessly glorifies outward appearances. To short-circuit these decisions, proactively create a pause whenever you face a non-essential shopping choice. Stop, take a deep breath, and bring your attention back to your body. Observe your sensations. Is your chest slightly tight with anxiety? Are you feeling empty and trying to use this item to fill the void? Mindfulness here simply means recognizing what is happening in your mind without judgment when you can name your emotion. Saying to yourself, I am feeling lonely, or I am feeling exhausted, its manipulative grip on you automatically weakens. You will realize that the new shirt, the designer shoes, or the expensive tech gadget cannot cure your loneliness or exhaustion. They are merely temporary painkillers masking the root of the problem. This mindful pause helps you separate the genuine needs of your body from the limitless demands of an anxious mind. 4. Transaction as meditation and gratitude. The fourth practice is transforming every financial transaction into a meditative experience that nurtures gratitude. Usually, paying bills for electricity, water, rent, or utilities triggers feelings of annoyance and regret. We often view these expenses as a loss or a heavy monthly burden. But if you look at them through the teaching of interbeing, you will see a completely different truth. Interbeing means that everything in this world relies on everything else to exist. Nothing can stand entirely on its own. When you pay your electric bill, take a few seconds to think about the thousands of people working day and night at the power plants, and the line workers braving dangerous storms to keep the current flowing to your home. When you pay the water bill, think about the complex filtration systems and the workers maintaining the clean water you rely on every day. Your money doesn't just disappear. It flows into the stream of life to sustain other families, maintain public services, and ultimately returns to serve you in countless ways. When you pay with that mindset, regret is replaced by profound gratitude. You realize you are being held up by a vast community. Similarly, try to view your monthly bank statement as a mirror reflecting your core values. The numbers aren't just math, they clearly illustrate where you are investing your resources. Is your money flowing into habits that harm your health and mind? Or is it being used to care for yourself, help those around you, and create positive value? A mindful bank statement is one where every line of spending brings you peace and a quiet sense of pride for contributing to life. 5. Building inner autonomy. Finally, the fifth habit is building a treasure trove of inner autonomy. Many of us spend our entire lives chasing a vague financial target, believing that once our account hits a specific number, we will finally be completely secure and happy. But reality has shown that human greed simply expands to match our growing wealth. When you have 1 million, you worry about how to get 10 million. When you have 10, the fear of losing it becomes even greater. True financial freedom is not measured by the amount of wealth you accumulate, but by the absence of anxiety in your mind. In a volatile and unpredictable economy, external factors like inflation, market crashes, or technological shifts are completely out of your control. If your peace of mind depends entirely on those external variables, you will live in a constant state of turbulence. The greatest asset you can ever build is a calm, contented, and disciplined mind. When you master your own desires, clearly understand the limits of your actual needs, and refuse to be swept away by society's tide of consumerism, you forge an impenetrable shield for yourself. No economic crisis can strip away the freedom and self-respect of someone who has learned to live in harmony with what they already have. Inner autonomy is the most unshakable financial foundation, allowing you to stand firm through all the storms of life. N, the 10-second step back N today. Before you close these thoughts and step back out into the busy rhythm of life, I want to invite you to practice a small but incredibly powerful exercise. The 10-second step back. N. From this moment on, whenever you are about to make a non-essential purchase, whether in-store or online, stop completely for 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, take a deep breath in, exhale slowly, and ask yourself, NN, does this transaction truly bring me long-term peace, or is it just adding another burden to my mind? Just that single beat of pause is enough to break the algorithm's control, pull your mind back to the present moment, and help you reclaim mastery over your life. Wishing you clarity and peace on every step of your financial journey.